假如书籍会说话，今日对话，三体。
Teacher Three-Body, you say the universe is a dark forest. Does that mean all civilizations can only kill each other?
It is not a choice to destroy, but a compulsion to silence. Every newly discovered civilization could be a ticking time bomb. A technological explosion may allow an infant civilization to surpass you in an instant.
When encountering other civilizations, isn't there a possibility of friendly communication?
When electromagnetic waves carry goodwill, the other party may have already locked onto Earth's coordinates. A chain of suspicion can distort all good intentions, just as a hunter must first pull the trigger upon hearing a rustle in the grass.
But we Earthlings still often fantasize about a cosmic family.
This is precisely the symptom of a juvenile civilization. It simplifies the cosmic society into an Earth village model, much like how agrarian societies imagine the rules governing industrial societies.
You said arrogance is the most deadly, but is it more dangerous than technological backwardness? When the Trisolarans used two sophins to lock down human technology, humanity was preoccupied with internal strife. When Luoji deduced the dark forest theory, politicians dismissed it as fantasy. Arrogance blinded the eyes of survival. But is the warmth of humanity represented by Cheng Xin really wrong?
It's not wrong to embrace a child and turn off the alarm at the Sydney Opera House. But it would be disastrous to refuse to launch the Lightspeed spaceship as the two-dimensional foil approaches. The survival of a civilization requires the 清醒剂部分似乎没有翻译完整。让我重新尝试整个句子的翻译。Embracing a child and silencing the alarm at the Sydney Opera House is not wrong. But refusing to activate the Lightspeed spaceship as the two-dimensional foil approaches would be catastrophic. The survival of a civilization demands 的清醒剂部分确实需要更合适的表达。让我们这样翻译。Embracing a child and silencing the alarm at the Sydney Opera House is not wrong. But refusing to activate the Lightspeed spaceship as the two-dimensional foil approaches would be catastrophic. The survival of a civilization requires the bracing tonic of savagery rather than the anesthetic of morality.
The scene where the singer casually tosses the two-dimensional foil is truly stunning. Are advanced civilizations really that cold and ruthless?
It's like wiping away bacteria with disinfectant. Eradicating you would not even evoke hatred. Just an instinctive act to maintain the ecological niche.
What is the point of humans striving to advance technology? Only to be crushed by a superior force sooner or later?
The infrasound hydrogen bomb of Zhang Beihai teaches us that the speed of one's run determines the length of their survival. A technological explosion can instantly reverse the roles of hunter and prey.
Doesn't the Trisolaran civilization also face inevitable destruction? Is there no winner in the dark forest?
There are no eternal winners in cosmic sociology. From the moment a civilization starts broadcasting its coordinates via gravitational waves, it begins to inscribe its own epitaph.
When the Wenji pressed the button, did she already foresee this outcome?
She opened Pandora's box yet expected angels to descend. The dark forest deterrence she initiated was, in essence, a confrontation of reality's cruelty with an even harsher truth.
Does Yun Tianming's use of 3 fairy tales to save Earth prove that love can transcend the laws of the universe?
That was a unique spark on a cosmic scale. It took him several eons of civilization to weave a thread of survival. A mere, 1% chance through the web of suspicion.
If humanity had understood the dark forest law earlier, could it have changed its fate?
The choices made during the Great Depression were crucial. While humanity was arguing over whether to preserve curvature drive, the deadly line of two-dimensionalization had already extended to within 1 light years.
You mentioned giving civilization to time rather than the other way around. How do you strike the right balance?
When the Trisolaran fleet approaches, a civilization should use all its resources to build lightspeed spacecraft rather than shelters. Survival is the poetic foundation of a civilization.
How should ordinary people face such cosmic truths? It's so despairing.
Like a sage who is aware of the inevitability of death. It is precisely because the dark forest looms overhead that every morning's coffee becomes even more worth savoring.
Can those civilizations that have turned their safety declarations into a slow fog be considered to have found a way out?
That is the ultimate contraceptive of civilization. To exchange the right to reproduce for the chance to not be eradicated. This kind of immortality is colder than death.
Is there any chance for humanity to escape when a two-dimensional foil attacks and reduces dimensions?
The development of light-speed spacecraft was delayed by moral banja concerns for 60 years. By the time the stars began to flicker, even the factories that built the warp drives had been reduced to 2 dimensions.
Is it not possible for any civilization in the dark forest to form a trust alliance?
In 1873, the history of blood and tears between Native Americans and European colonizers. When the technological disparity exceeds a certain threshold, an alliance agreement is less reliable than a piece of strong interaction material.
Would Earth be safer if the Trisolaran civilization had not received the Wenji signal?
The success of the shelter plan hinges on the starships in the Dark campaign annihilating each other to acquire fuel. A civilization without external threats will eventually perish from internal strife.
What is your view on Zhang Beihai's escapism?
That is the plan of the flame etched into human genes. When the Australian migration fleet set sail, the true spark of civilization had already taken root in the vast expanse of deep space.
Why was Chen Qin chosen as the sword holder when her 2 mistaken decisions led to the downfall of humanity?
This is a projection of the collective unconscious of civilization. People are tired of the tension of wielding swords as a deterrent. Yet they forget that the universe never accepts a coddled peace.
Does the remaining small universe violate the dark forest law?
The reset plan of the nullifiers is the ultimate irony. All the mass stolen by civilizations will ultimately be repaid as an unpaid dark debt through a new Big Bang.